The embattled Minister of Police, the South African Minister of Police, who's on special leave, made a secret recording. Now the question isn't just a political one. This one is a legal one. So in this case, the Minister Senzo Mchunu instructed his chief of staff, Mr. Nkabinde, to record a private conversation, a private phone call from Lieutenant-General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, who had phoned to request a meeting about the disbandment of the political killing task team, the PKTT. Yes, let's listen to this clip from the ad hoc committee and I'll come back to talk about it.
Before it was even played, whether is this the way conversations, telephonic conversations or other online conversations with your chief of staff was handled, that they were recorded, apparently without the consent of in this case Mkhwanazi, and Mkhwanazi, I think, mentioned in his evidence that some version, a bit distorted apparently, appeared on social media, and he wasn't happy about that. So the question is just that: are you aware that your chief of staff, obviously, you know, he recorded it, he mentioned it to you, but is this the way you conducted things in your office?
No.
Okay, then maybe we'll ask him for a reason why he recorded Mkhwanazi without his consent, or is there a legal reason that you as a minister and your chief of staff can record conversations with people under the Cyber Act or some legislation?
Now, we don't record people. I'm not aware of anybody in my office who have ever recorded a person, but in this instance, it's me who advised the chief of staff to say, you may need to record your conversations with General Mkhwanazi because of the threats. It was not because for the commission, I wasn't thinking about the commission or any other thing, because he kept on saying, General Mkhwanazi is angry. When a person says, so-and-so is angry with you, you take it serious.
So can we just understand that even before this recording, Mkhwanazi had phoned Nkabinde and spoke to him in a threatening, because who decided that his conversation must henceforth be recorded?
First, he just told me that there's a threat. He's angry. He's saying 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then he came back, I think third time in one day, as they continued to talk. And at some point I felt that the way things are developing, it looks like they're developing fast and they've got anger inside, but they now have threats inside. Now, when he mentioned this one of if the minister knows he is clean, no, I think it came before that one that I said, now we may now need to record. It was after he spoke about fight back. I don't think fight back was recorded, but I think it was at that point when I said, being experienced as I am, I felt that this may develop to something else. Then I said record, but that one of threatening on what I may have left in the Premier's office, when he mentioned that, I felt that, so there's a threat here. Okay. So we are discussing, he is wanting to meet me and so on, to discuss the disbandment, which is fine. I'm fine with. But
So
when it says, it sounded like a compromise. So you want to compromise me on things that as a matter of principle, I have to consider in my work. But because you don't like it, you then issue a threat and you date it back where it worked. It constituted the environment. Let me move on.
So Nkabinde decided, he took it upon himself to record this
I
discussion.
advised the chief of staff.
You told him to record it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said you may need to consider recording, because I don't normally have a discussion with a person and then you get threats in your work environment, and I didn't understand why.
Oh, Senzo Mchunu. Senzo Mchunu from, the battle minister of police, who's on special leave. And I spoke about him extensively. Why he's on special leave? It's because he was colluding with criminals, right? That's why he's on special. It's alleged. We've shown evidence, Nhlanhla Commission, of that collusion so far. But this whole thing, this answer, it's a problem for me. I've got a problem with this. Because under the South African Regulation of Interception of Communication Act, the RICA of 2002, Section 2 makes it a criminal offence to intercept or record any communication without the consent of at least one of the parties. So here's a catch here, because Mchunu was not a participant in that call. He was not a participant in that call. If it was a phone call between Senzo Mchunu and Lieutenant-General Mkhwanazi, and he recorded that, then it wouldn't be a criminal offense. It would be some ethical issues around it, but it won't be a criminal offense. Here, the phone call here is between the Lieutenant-General Mkhwanazi, the police commissioner of KZN, who called desperately wanting to have a meeting with him after learning of the disbandment of political task team, but from Brown Mkhwanazi, when it was leaked to him by this man, controversial underworld figure called Brown Mkhwanazi. And he was frantically wanting to speak to the Minister of Police on that day. And he had called the office about 3 times and he spoke to the chief of staff. Then the Minister of Police instructed the chief of staff that, to record or may consider whatever it kind of changed after he was asked the second time around. Did you instructed the chief of staff to record it? And he said, yeah, I made a recommendation that he may consider to record it. Yeah. So yeah, he simply ordered, because he said, because I've got experience. Yeah, experience doesn't mean competency. Experience just tells you the years in a role or years being a political operative or politician, but doesn't really define competency here. It really doesn't, because this one is criminal. This one, because he simply ordered the staff to record it. That means the recording wasn't one party consent. So he was not part of that phone call. This was a conversation between the police commissioner and the chief of staff. It was unauthorized interception. This interception was unauthorized, punishable up to 10 years in prison or a fine under Section 49 of RICA. Yeah. Holy crap. And I'm actually gonna play. I don't know if I want to play the entire the recording, because I did listen to that recording. I haven't been able to translate that recording, but I can tell you now. I won't play it, but I can tell you that this recording that we're talking about, in that conversation, they talked extensively about even other police officers, other matters that are relating to the other police officers in that team. So the conversation wasn't just a conversation about him, Lieutenant Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, and this chief of staff. It was about policing. And that's why I'm mentioning this, because we have to think about another violation here that is so obvious, glaringly obvious. Like I said, having experience doesn't mean you are competent. Parts of recording were allegedly distorted and also leaked online, as you have heard from the from this submission at ad hoc committee from evidence leader who is questioning him. Comes where we look into another law. This is the POPIA law. POPIA is like your Privacy Act of Australia's Privacy Act. So it's called POPIA in short. It means the Protection of Personal Information Act. This one kicks in when we talk about this leak online. When Mkhwanazi, any submission mentioned this leak of that private conversation between himself and the chief of staff. So publishing someone's private voice recording without consent is unlawful processing of personal information, especially when it harms reputation or exposes operational intelligence. Like I said, in that recording, they were discussing extensively even other matters that aren't related to Mkhwanazi himself, personal, but other people in there, about operations of policing. And he wouldn't have wanted some of his comment about certain police officers, certain people, to be made public. So this is where POPIA, Protection of Personal Information Act, kicked in this leaking. Yeah. Even if Mchunu believes he was protecting himself, I mean, the law doesn't allow ministers to secretly record senior police officers. All right? There is no such a law. It's not only a legal breach, it's also an ethical failure that undermines trust and blurs the constitutional line between political oversight and police independency. Yeah, my goodness. I wonder how many people is recorded. So the real issue here isn't whether Mkhwanazi sounded angry. It's whether the state can spy on its own officials and leak those conversations without accountability. Under the South African law, the answer is very simple. It's a big no. That is unlawful interception.